Welcome everybody back to another One Piece reaction. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Carson.
And today we are watching One Piece episodes 5 and 6. What happened last time?
Literally a second before hitting record, I asked Lindsay what happened last time, because usually I do that part and then she has to say what happened last time.
But I forgot. So he now has to say what happened last time.
What happened last time is we got Shanks's full...
Right, yeah. I now remember.
Like I was saying, we got the whole thing with Shanks and that whole backstory completed, and now we're going to meet Buggy probably for the first time. And we'll see what happens there. Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get a week ahead of edited reactions. Shout out my boy, Bold Editor Sama, Bob Mike Joe. And you can get 2 weeks ahead on uncut reactions on patreon.com/boldcast. That's linked in the description. And yeah, just please subscribe to the channel, because we're gonna be doing One Piece reactions, double episodes every 2 days. And yeah, let's just get right into it. I wonder if the guy with the long purple hair there in that flash was Don Krieg from the live action. Remember that guy that Mihawk like fought? That was, we were like, whoa, what the hell? Who the hell is this guy?
He was, like, blasting all those
and he has
ships.
like a...
Yeah. You damn woman thief.
Right. This is how it ended off. Now you're safe in a crater. Buggy. What? I'm also deaf as well as hungry.
You hit my hat.
Oh my god. Instant retaliation.
I wonder if they killed that guy. Wow, she wants to join up
this
time.
Is very different.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I wonder if she like hates pirates like she did in the live action, or if she just doesn't know he's a pirate yet. And that's gonna be something that comes up. Or she's just looking to swindle. Like she just said that she steals from pirates and like that's her thing, but like, does that mean she hates pirates like she did? I imagine she would.
Oh.
We're all just terrified.
No.
What?
Is it different?
That looks like telekinesis to me.
A flashing. This seems very like a different ability.
I wonder if it's actually a different ability, or if this is one of those things of just like the first time you see it, it's like way different than what it ends up being, because it's like the debut of it, and they're trying to make you like, whoa, what's the deal with this guy?
They're trying to keep it really mysterious.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite OST.
Whose food is this then? Oh.
This is my favorite OSTs of the show that I've heard. Oh.
Very open about her goal.
But why? None of your business.
Yeah.
For those who are wondering how I know like some of the OST, I didn't pre-watch the show. I looked up a bunch of OSTs for editing and putting in the discussion and stuff. Wow, this is very different from what I expected.
Oh. I only like money and tangerines.
It's sad knowing that she like hated eating them when she was at home, but now it's like a big thing that she loves them.
What?
This is such a strange way to get like the paths to cross, you know?
What is the plan here? What?
It's a fake map. It's a fake chart. She's
Or
a
she copied
cartographer.
it
She knows that
already? Yeah.
she altered it. Or copied it, yeah. Oh, he's just like so dumbfounded at everything that's happening. So like they didn't destroy the whole town here?
Well, everyone left.
Yeah,
She
I
said all
guess
the houses were empty.
They just like chased him out of town.
They're not holding them captive and making them watch
And threatening to cut
performances.
off their hands and things like that. Like the contrast is so severe. So far we don't really have a chance to like hate Buggy, you know,
Yeah.
or like think that he's kind of irredeemable.
You see that guy?
Yeah, playing like the knife game.
No, with like 20...
No, there was another.
Oh.
Yeah, there's another guy as well who was on a barrel, like doing the knife thing.
Buggy ball. Gonna shoot Luffy out of the cannon. Or, oh,
Shoot that at Luffy?
just into the town.
Oh, they're gonna like destroy buildings. And she's gonna be against it. So her whole town got all destroyed by pirates. Holy!
Wow.
Oh boy. Jesus.
I mean, at least no one was in there.
Yeah.
Oh, they're on top of a house.
I wonder if this is one of those things where either in the manga there was people, or maybe
It's just
Oda
too
thought there.
violent.
Yeah, Oda maybe thought there should be people, but there just wasn't. That's maybe why it was more gruesome in the or in the live action. Not gruesome,
Why are
but
you
like
opening your mouth right now?
more harsh with like taking people prisoner and stuff. Antabaka. A red-haired girl saying Antabaka. She's gonna have the choice to blow up Luffy. What'd you spill? His
My
tea?
tea, I just spilled it all over me.
I love how he's just gonna tank it.
No, that's okay.
This is fun.
I like how he's his own brand
Brand
of matches.
of matches, yeah. What's she gonna do?
Yeah, 'cause she doesn't know that he's, like, invincible.
I think she's gonna do it because she doesn't like. Oh, wind up no better than
Maybe
pirates.
Zoro will show up.
The inner monologue changes things a lot. Like it makes things way more like unambiguous. Like so much of the live action, there was like, oh, what do they think, or what's
Yeah, what's
you
going
know?
on here?
Put your own life on the line.
Oh,
Oh yeah. That was pretty badass. Did she like put those together? She pulled out like 3 little rods.
Yeah, that'd be cool if she put them together instead of like extending them. It was just my reflexes. Don't worry.
Inhuman pirates.
Oh. Oh. See, now's when it would be good to have like a sword.
I don't know how strong that fuse is, but I don't think it would be constantly burning. It must be a really strong fuse. She's really choking the life out of that fuse.
What a great face. I just burnt my hands off, but that's fine. Also, I feel like he could just get out. Like, the bars of this cage look so wide and he's made of rubber.
He's like, what are you playing around for? I love how Sora just has such a reputation off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
His voice is so crazy. Oh boy. It's gonna end off on like a big cliffhanger, him using his devil fruit.
You really got him.
3 swords? He's like, that doesn't feel normal, like how I normally cut people in half. And they're all laughing. Something fishy's going on.
It was just like, huh, it's almost like they mentioned that he has a devil fruit power like 5 times.
Yeah.
He was weak though, so it's
Maybe
fine.
he doesn't know what a devil fruit is. Did he? I forget. Oh, Jesus! Blood? In episode 5 of a kid's anime? But how does that explain the telekinesis that happened earlier?
Maybe he had like detached his fingers and you couldn't see them because the guy was in the way or something. And his crew seems to like him so much more in this. Like they're all hyping him up, where in the other one, like
we didn't really hear much from them
there
before.
There wasn't too much.
Sora just got straight up stabbed. I wonder if he's gonna make it.
You gonna break out of there or something, buddy?
I don't think he can. Maybe she has to pick the lock.
Oh god.
Oh shit! Or is he just gonna let him out?
I'm gonna let him out so he can fight him.
Catching his teeth.
What?
Three sword style. He used ignore.
I'm gonna shoot him with that.
Oh yeah, he's super strong. Oh shit, and is Buggy just gonna stand there and take it? no, it's pointing the same.
The
What are we
fuse
gonna
was
do?
still lit.
Yeah.
That was just really short.
It's not a trigger, and they have so much time to run away. I love they're cutting to these reaction shots. Oh my god.
Fantastic.
Oh, I love it. I love this song.
It's so good.
What'd you think of that one?
Very, like, this is like, the rest of it has obviously been different from the live action so far, but this is extremely different. And
The setup isn't that different, like what actually is happening, like Luffy's, you know, like the whole point of that whole setup in the live action was like Luffy's captured and Nami needs to like care enough to try and help him, and then they come from that, and then now they're a crew.
That's true.
So like the basis of it, but yeah, there's a lot that is different, and it makes me wonder if this was like either, like I said, censored from the manga or censored by the editors, like if there were supposed to be more,
or just
more
in
civilians.
looking back on it,
Yeah.
there was like, oh, I wish that like.
Or if it's just a change from the live
yeah.
action where they just wanted to like give more stakes to
Yeah.
Buggy being an evil guy.
It's just interesting because so far in the anime, I have felt like the villains are like scarier or more evil compared to the live action. But I feel like Buggy here, like is just kind of dumb and like and not in a necessarily like a super crazy way, like in the live action, and like part of that, you know, could possibly have to do with the actor as well, because he played like being
more
crazy
funny.
and it was like this like whimsical, like super twisted guy who's like wants to put on these performances and is like, you can tell that he's like very deranged and is like harming people, not just because he loves to, you know, shoot a ball and explode buildings, but because of this like warped sense of like wanting to put on a show.
It's like narcissism.
Yeah, it's like
which is all those things are still there in this. It's just that I feel like in the live action, with the hindsight, and I imagine like what happens later in the story, they have more tools at their disposal to illustrate those things than what was done here. Where I think what's happening here is like a very dumbed down version of like what Oda could probably get away with in telling his story. That's what it seems like to me. It seems like a lot of this was like dumbed down and like simplified because there are some things that you just can't put in a manga, like, you know, taking people prisoner or just like blowing up actual people. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my intuition watching this, like thinking of how this could have been written and published in a shonen magazine, like the same. Yeah, I don't know, and maybe it is from the manga. Maybe it's a little bit more direct with that, but I don't know. I'm getting one more thing before we move on to the next one. I'm getting the feeling that Nami is more. First of all, Nami's way nicer and open in this.
Yes.
She was way more upfront with, and again, it's like hindsight and adapting with a live action. You have a different. You have different tools at your disposal for telling your story, and maybe at the again, like we talked about in the last episode 4 reaction, like a lot of what's interesting about these early episodes is like seeing the confidence in the story and seeing the way that Oda is like setting things up without maybe even knowing exactly what he will reveal down the line, but knowing that like keeping like giving people a little bit up front goes a long way to getting them intrigued, and you know, and asking questions and like wondering why does she want the money, and she doesn't say it because she lost somebody, and like there's a bunch of different pieces of her personality that you get from this, but you don't get the full picture, and you get them at different points in different orders, so that's really cool. But Nami in the live action was a lot more gruff, and I really liked her that way, honestly, because then when we got to the Arlong stuff where she asked Luffy to help her or to save her, it felt like a big shift in character. Like she went from this like very headstrong, independent lady to independent woman, doesn't need any pirate crew to hold her down or anything, to realizing that she does need help and being vulnerable. And it was a big shift in like the performance, especially from the actress that played her. I think Emily Rudd's her name. That big tonal shift in like emotion from her, I think was a big powerful part of our experience with the live action and that portrayal of the scene. But in this, it seems like it's going to be much more, she's a lot more like girly, and like she gets saved by Zoro in this moment of like, you know, and
yeah, and
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just very different, and I think the moment itself, when we get to that point, will be very good and very impactful. It's just that a big part of what I got from the performance that we saw in the live action was that change, and with Nami being more open from the get-go and being more vulnerable from the get-go, she's not like helpless, but she's like a lot more vulnerable from the outset.
I also think though that like I'm interested to see it with her starting off like this as well, though, because it makes her seem like very optimistic, very happy, very like peppy kind of, and then I imagine that like her betraying them will be like more of like a crazy thing, because it's like, oh, I didn't expect this. She was so like
she was so
fitting
down,
in really well, and she like had her secrets, but she was still kind of part of the crew, and then she betrays them, and then she like asks for help as well. So I think that it's just a different
it'll be
vibe.
A different ride, yeah.
And that's part of what I really like about this, and part of why I'm glad that we did watch the live action first more and more, because I feel like it's so different. It's not like a one-to-one. This is like a complete, like, it's the same characters, but they're being presented kind of differently. Like, Luffy is still obviously way more powerful, even though he's in a cage here. He didn't get like, like kind of like beaten and put into a cage. It was part of Nami's plan to like put him in the cage, give the map back, and then steal the map back again later. Like, it's just everything is being presented in a very different way.
In a good way.
In a good way, but not in a way that makes the live action seem bad necessarily. Yeah. But I do think that like maybe if I had watched this first, then I might have been like, oh, because I still kind of prefer a lot of the elements of the live action, but that's mainly in like, oh, I can see how they like took this and then like changed it for that format. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it is kind of cool to watch it like this and be able to see like, this is like the initial impression of this character, whereas I got like a very different impression of them in the live action. Yeah,
and I like both versions so far, and it's just very interesting seeing like the much more complete picture and like the overall intention of this character that's totally built out, and they can like really streamline and focus like the effect that they want to have, whereas when you're writing a manga week to week, you're getting a bunch of different, like, not conflicting stuff, but like just little spice to the character, and you feel like the author's kind of coming through in the work when the character's on screen, and it's there's a little bit of like an improv element to it in a way, and I like that. I like it's interesting just because I'm excited to see how it evolves and everything like that. Like with the telekinesis thing with Buggy, I imagine that was like, I mean, maybe it'll be addressed later. Maybe there's more to the Devil Fruit than we know. That's fully a possibility. But since this is such an early juncture in the series, I imagine what happened, and I could be totally wrong. This is just fully a guess. I have no idea. But I'm guessing what happened was the chapter ended off with like that thing with Buggy like showing up. Oh, it's Devil Fruit, and then it's like he's choking this guy for like Darth Vader style. But and then the chapter ended, and then we had like one more chapter or two more chapters, and then the Devil Fruit power got revealed. Or maybe we didn't see this part because there's a part where you see the imprint of like his fingers on the guy's neck, but you don't see any fingers his hands, there.
Yeah. And that's the other thing as well.
Hang on. There it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Like you see that there is like something's gripping it, but it's clearly like a Darth Vader type thing, at least as the presentation in the anime goes.
And that's the other thing is
that signals to me that it was they were foreshadowing something, Odo's foreshadowing something, and then he solidified his vision once it got fully revealed.
Yeah, because that's the other thing, it's like the anime is obviously also an adaptation of the manga as well, but what I find is that like obviously when you're doing anime adaptation of a manga, there's not usually, I don't think, the same like okay, we're gonna like take all of this and kind of like reassess it and like make sure it's all consistent. It's like we're gonna adapt this as faithfully as possible, even with potential like retcons, or like we're not gonna fix anything or like make anything clearer. We're just gonna present it in mostly the same way. Whereas in the live action, especially made like 20 years later or whatever, there's more of that opportunity to like fix things and make things more clear. But then there's also the opportunity to make things way less clear.
Yeah.
Like in the last episode with the whole Luffy's backstory and Shanks and stuff.
Yeah, in terms of the live action, you mean, like they had opportunities to make things very clear and in the live action, and they weren't able to do that. Yeah, but and maybe I'm wrong about this, about the devil fruit thing here, but
maybe he does have like a second other ability.
Yeah,
but
it seems to me like what I said. Though.
Yeah, I agree that it was like, oh, we're gonna give him like this like.
But again, that's the fun. Like that I'm not saying that like, oh, I found a plot hole. Like I'm saying that like, you know, there's going to be. I'm not. First of all, this is a fictional world. This world doesn't exist. I'm aware of that, and me being aware of that allows me to appreciate a different side of the craft of this thing, which I think is a deeper appreciation for the things that we usually view. That's why we view things in this way, is to have that deeper appreciation for it. So I'm not like pointing all this shit out to like get like, oh, I caught this thing, I'm so smart. I'm pointing this out to say like, I like that there's these little inconsistencies, and it's fun to point them out. It's fun to like see how things are like created, because you kind of get in the author's head and you feel like the direction that everything's going. You get sort of a feel of the flow of everything. And because I'm not a 12-year-old, I can see that, you could when you can see these things, it's not like it's not a big deal. It's just it is what it is. That's one of the reasons why I really like JoJo's anime and the anime adaptation of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, is because there's plenty of things that, again, I don't fully know that that's what's going on here, but a saying that it is what I said of like, we present this thing, we foreshadow it, and then we solidify it later on. That's like, that happens so often in JoJo, and it's the most interesting part of analyzing and watching JoJo, is because there's I think is it the Spice Girls stand? You haven't seen it. It's in part 5. There's like, oh, there's this big footprint, holy shit, and then it has nothing to do with like what the stand is actually about. Like, and it's supposed to like, oh, this person's stand is like this crazy monster, and then it's just not. It's just not like that. And same thing with Koichi, his stand, and like how that kind of evolves. It's clearly like they're introducing something that's like intriguing and has a million different directions it can go, and then they pick one that like conflicts in some small way but is still consistent generally with the idea that was being presented at the beginning. That's kind of similarly what's happening here. The same thing with all of Dio's powers and the way that the stands worked in part 3, with how he was introduced, like having all these stand powers, and he was supposed to be like, oh, he has everything, and then he ends up having his one thing that he has at the end. Bunch of different shit like that. That's one of my favorite things about JoJo, is that those inconsistencies are there, and if seeing them makes it more interesting. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Leave a like and subscribe. Reminder in the middle of the edit. Check out Patreon to get a week ahead. 2 weeks ahead. Yeah, I guess a huge recap. Holy shit, a huge recap! At least just the action bits.
Yeah.
Wow. Big recap in the fastest way. Oh my god! There's no cannonball there, it's just Goku going like, this is a mini Goku. Holy shit, did he get like cut in half? Oh.
I don't know, but she's on a crew now.
She's our navigator. He just says it like it's set in stone.
Well, she said that she would if he did this. Turns out they accidentally blew up the map as well because Buggy had it. Everything got incinerated.
Well, maybe that's what they think.
Yikes.
Beast Tamer emoji. We really got to stop looking at these things. We'll make sure to not look at them in the future. We thought that we knew everything that was going to happen, but that's new.
Yeah.
So we'll be more careful. Don't worry. You don't need to comment it. This is in the video. You're watching right now.
How did you survive that?
Oh, this is gonna be like a big, like, multi-layered encounter with these people.
No, I mean, you could have at least picked the lock on this.
Watch, he's just gonna stick his head through
I know,
the box.
and then you-
That's gonna be the whole thing. Like, it's gonna be this big thing that he dragged this box all over the place, and then he's gonna be like, all right.
He can easily get out. Look at that.
He's a rubber man. Of course he can get out.
He's gonna get out right now. Oh. Oh.
Oh, the eyelid. That's disgusting. This is a weird looking dog. Where is this coming from? Is this sent by the Beast Tamer dude?
It's just a random dog.
Or is he gonna be their friend for this episode and then reveal himself as a spy, foreshadowing Nami's treachery?
Oh.
Oh, look at that. And she went all the way back there to get the key, I guess?
Guess so.
Damn.
Oh.
Oh my god. Well,
We're
you're
gonna have to kill this dog now.
Yeah, it's like we're doing this the hard way. What is this soundtrack?
Oh, it's the mayor. The mayor that was in the live action.
Yeah, I think he has the same hairstyle. You're very lucky you didn't get, like, completely
Luckily,
obliterated.
I'm also the town doctor. Don't worry about it.
This is armor he's got on. This guy sounds like Netero. Well, crazy lore all of a sudden in this town. There's like a slow Nami theme. I believe Luffy's just still sitting in the cage while this whole backstory's going on.
That's so sad.
It's like that Futurama episode. You're gonna join my crew, dog.
Oh no.
Is this dog gonna get eaten by this lion?
And then not only do they have to get the key out of the dog, they also have to get the key out of the lion. Out of the dog.
What if he's a member of this village and he's the pet owner guy who's just turned evil? That's a big lie. He's been waiting all his life for this fight.
This dog.
That was a weird transition. I love it. Richie? Lionel Richie? Lionel Richie?
Good one. An instant death. I'm gonna just bust him out of the cage. Oh, he wants to go in there and eat the food, but the dog doesn't want.
Oh my god. We're thinking this dog's gonna get eaten, he's gonna kick this lion's ass, watch.
He's so full of determination. This dog ate a devil fruit one time.
That's not how I thought he would get out of the
I
cage.
thought for sure he was just gonna squeeze
Step
out of the
it.
cage.
Is it wrong to be alive?
Finally, an anime addressing this very common problem of flying through houses and being perfectly fine.
I love just the instant trust he has in Nami. No! Oh no! Oh no!
Why?
What the hell, man?
Stop!
JoJo's so good!
You don't need to keep guarding the shop.
Yes, he does. It's his shop too. That's what he said.
I know, but his owner wouldn't want this.
But it's his home. Is that Christ, the statue of Christ the Savior out there? Like, or is it maybe a windmill? No! They burned it down!
Why? Why? Oh my god!
It's so fucking sad, dude.
What? That was completely unnecessary. Yeah, good. I hope you get rabies. That's all you took? That's not even a snack. Yeah, I'll teach you for burning down that dog's shop.
Whoa! Fuck that lion up.
You should watch you mess with.
Damn. Oh, she's gonna really relate to this dog. It's We Are. Sad version. What's gonna happen to this dog? Is that the whole episode?
Why do they have another tent set up again immediately?
Because I think this is a filler episode. Another crazy lore. I like settled this place. Oh no! Dude. After we just learned they built this town from the ground up.
Oh.
To be continued. This is an emotional roller coaster. They already went through like us thinking he's dead to him like to Luffy being really afraid to them saying no, he's already dead, to him like coming back from the dead in like a second. Just the whiplash.
She's just like, this is just a random old man with zero fighting experience. What are you doing? But not even gonna go help him, they're just letting him go by himself.
And we never heard from him again. I'm gonna make him join my crew.
We need an old man on our crew.
Again? This fucking old man. Boodle? You see now his hands there. The music's so good.
Nice.
Very good. What do you think of that episode?
That was
Let me just check if it was a filler. It felt very fillery, because like as soon as all the stuff with the dog was done, then it was like it never happened, and then Zoro came back to the story instantly. Hang on, let's just check. I bet it is.
It seems like it, because also they were still on top of that building and the thing never got destroyed, so I think it was one of those things where like it happened and then they kind of like go back in time, make like this alternate reality, you know?
Apparently it's totally, oh no, episode 6? Yeah, apparently it's totally manga canon.
Interesting.
Maybe it was written as like a filler chapter, kind of. I don't mind it. It was sad as hell. Yeah, it was sad, dude. I love that dog. It's just like
that had absolutely zero business being that sad. It's like we were talking about JoJo, and then the show was like, "Yeah, we're just gonna become JoJo for a second and absolutely beat the shit out of this dog."
I love we summoned that into the story. It's so weird though, like the structure of it. I mean, it worked. I really liked the episode. Even if it was filler, like I would be glad to watch it. I like this episode.
Yeah.
Like even if I looked it up and I was like, oh, this is actually a filler episode we just watched. I don't even care. I liked the episode.
It was
doesn't matter. It was just such
so sad and everything's very abrupt. Everything's like, oh, there's this thing, and then and then there's this thing.
They fire off.
There's this thing. Oh, and then actually none of that even mattered because now there's this thing.
People
and
say
now
One Piece is slow. Like 50 things happened one after another in this episode.
Everything. It was just like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Everything. Like the dog like went so hardcore in that fight. I don't know how it didn't die. I was a little bit disappointed that Luffy didn't just like get out of the cage. Not gonna lie, like I was kind of disappointed that he didn't just like
just for a gag.
Just because I feel like it would have been. I thought at the start of this episode, I thought what it was gonna be was that they have to then like hang out with this dog for a while until they can get the key back, and then like when they got the key, then Luffy was gonna like just get out of the cage.
Yeah.
By himself, and then they were gonna be like, you piece of shit, we dragged you around, Zoro almost died dragging you out of there, I spent all my time getting this key, and then you could have got out anyway. I thought that's what it was gonna be. Also, another thing that this kind of reminded me of like another Pirates of the Caribbean thing. We talked about that at some points in the live action. It was like this with like, oh, the pirate being locked up and then the dog having the key and then they're trying to like get the key back from the dog. In Pirates of the Caribbean, that's the thing.
I have less to say about it, but it was so less to say about this episode, but it was so sad.
And they just make the dog, whoever's doing the voice acting for that dog was going really hard on it. It just sounded so pathetic.
I loved the still frame of him punching this asshole. It was so good. And then at the end when like Zoro was okay after 1 second.
He's like, oh, the injury to my name was worse than the injury to my side. It's like, are you sure about that? You were like bleeding out a few seconds ago.
I mean, yeah. That's what it means. It means he takes his pride more seriously. Because, yeah, he's a swordsman and he got stabbed in the back. So, like,
yeah,
you know, not good. But I like it. I like it a lot. I'm loving the show. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.